Hello everyone, welcome along to non-grand final week. Yes, there is no AFL, no NRL and no V8 supercars, although it has been a plethora of exciting entertainment. We're into the quarterfinals of the Rugby World Cup. Japan take a bow. It's been a fabulous tournament so far for these guys. We're into round 2 or 3 of the NBL, and I personally have to financially thank Shane Hill for looking after the boys on the weekend.
No pressure, Hammer. Keep tipping.
Hello, fellas. Brian Fletch and Mark War, Shane Hill. You first, Hammer.
Mate, thank goodness for the NBL season. I've been talking about it for a month, so I'm glad we got a few winners home.
The public might have seen 2 or 3, but if you looked at our Facebook group, which is called The Lucky Punts, you might have got about 6 from 6 over the weekend. Hammer updates it, and it was very good. More tips to come. Junior, his best bet in the racing, and Bully's
best got the money in the Toyota too.
You've been chasing it. You might not have been happy about the $3.60 or whatever, but any price a winner?
Or trekking.
No.
Well, Natoya opened
Natoya.
6. What about trekking? Got out to $4.60.
Double up from
Anyway,
Junior.
a
And
winner's a
Brian
winner.
Fletcher.
Yes.
What have you been doing?
In Tasmania.
I've been in Tasmania. You know, it's a surprisingly great place. Good food, good wine.
Go to Bell Reef.
I learned 2 things about Tasmania. You can make a lot of money from gambling. So, you know the Mona down there?
Yeah.
The museum of old and new art? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, the bloke who started that's worth $100 million. He made all his money from gambling.
Yes.
And he's also sold all these, he's got an algorithm to sell for horse racing. So he makes $80 million a year, so well done. David Walsh is his name. I meet he's offsider. Second thing is, if you ever want to dispose of a body, you get a Tasmanian devil to eat it because they eat everything. Like everything. So, listen to this. There was these 2 trekkers and they passed away, unfortunately. But the only thing that survived was their steel cap in their boots because the Tasmanian devils eat everything. Hats, glasses, bags, leather, bodies.
Not the steel blue
drones,
shoes.
Just that, So, that's for all the gangsters out there, if you want to get rid of a body, Tasmanian devils.
That's why he's here, folks. Just adding a little levity to otherwise very serious show. We're going to make it nice and snappy today. The Rugby League 9s are on this weekend. That's enough about Rugby League. Nelson Asafa Solomona got into a bit of a stink. One gets the feeling it might have been one of those ones where there were too many cameras rolling. We've all been in and around brawls. They happen like that, but cameras were rolling left, right and centre.
It sounds like that's where we live. That's where we live now. So now apparently, and I don't know Nelson, but I know a lot of blokes who do. They say was very out of character.
Yeah.
So his story that Vunivalu got glassed, obviously, seems to me might be true. So, but geez, he wound up.
There is a lesson to be learned out of Nelson Asafa Solomona.
Yeah.
Do not ever rile the big guy because he was.
Did you see this
haymakers?
He was coming back from here.
You want him in the trenches with you though.
Yeah.
I mean, as a mate, I reckon.
I think he'll be right.
You
Yeah,
know.
he might get suspended for
You
the
can't
2
condone
weeks.
it, but you want him as a mate.
Look, I get the situation. I get it from both sides, but those people who provoke, you poke the bear, and the bear is allowed to poke back.
You should see Junior on the piss. He's annoying.
Yeah.
You annoy people.
That reminds me, we are going to have another lock-in very, very shortly.
yes.
In a sort of roundabout segue. So we'll get more information, and it'll be on our Facebook page, The Lucky Punts. That's
careful.
with a P, Junior.
Yeah, not as, you know what?
Rugby World Cup. Did anyone watch the Japanese take on Scotland?
How good was that?
How
That's
good
how
were they?
rugby should be played.
Jeez, they throw the ball around, don't they?
And the scary thing is, we're so excited about that. It's going to stop from here on in because quarterfinals, no bonus points, no. If you get close, you get an extra bite at the cherry. It's winner takes all. So there'll be penalties, there'll be slow play, they'll really dumb it down. But well done to Japan. They topped the group, and excitingly, that means the All Blacks have to face off Ireland in a quarterfinal.
Mate, how excited were you watching it, knowing you tipped it and you were so passionate about it?
I was just
Wish we had
loving
that on
it.
video.
But the try in that first half, guy does a grubber kick and the winger just
Good
sticks
hands,
the
wasn't
Duke
it?
out.
You can see the league. I know I'm a league man, but you can see the influence of league has had on, especially on the Japanese team, because they're throwing blocks and the decoys. When in the old days, as you said, what will happen is just a go in there, ruck and more boring sort of stuff. So it was exciting to see.
So out of it all, South Africa actually sit pretty nicely because they'll take on Japan in their quarterfinal, and they'll play the winner out of Wales and France, while Australia will play the English, and the winner out of that takes on the winner out of New zealand and Ireland.
How we been going, mate?
Oh,
You're a rugby.
We beat the Poms, can't we?
aficionado.
We can beat them.
We've lost 5 in a row. But
Will we beat them? I don't think so. I think the favourites will win, but I do think that the line is the disparity in the lines in all of the matches is something that's enticing. It's where my
Because
heart
you were
really
off
goes.
when we first started this, when the competition first started, you were off New Zealand. Are you still off them?
Oh, they're $2.50 to win the tournament because
Yeah.
they've got to play a World Cup final in the quarter, then they've got to play a World Cup final in the semi, only to play a World Cup final in the final. So for them to win is going to be enormous. I don't think anyone can win out of the bottom group or the top group, call it what you will. I think it's really South Africa or Wales's to lose for that, or France's for
And
that.
the Typhoon's gone.
Typhoon's gone. It's very
Wales's
sad.
or Welsh?
Wales's.
Okay.
Well,
Just one
Wales is the country.
Yeah, Wales's. I would have used
The Welsh.
I've been in Tasmania. Their grammar down there is unbelievable.
Okay, but we'll get to that shortly. A lot of fun to be had. Let's just hope that the Aussies have a decent crack. And unfortunately for Australia, that dopey Kiwi
I think you say
TMO,
something else.
Thought you were
I think you're going to say something else.
dopey Kiwi TMO is officiating once again. So if he keeps his beak out of it, we might have a decent game. Basketball, yours.
B-ball.
NBA. We're starting with, aren't we?
We've
Next
got
week.
NBA,
starts.
we've got NBL, and we've got our little mate down in Wollongong who's not so much lighting it up, but he's certainly lighting up the .com.au.
Well, LaMelo Ball, they had 1 million viewers on Facebook watching LaMelo Ball play the other day from America and Canada.
How many are going to come back and watch him?
Unbelievable.
He didn't do himself that many favours in that game, did he?
No, I mean, they're pumping him up and he has to earn it. He's 18, he's going to be a superstar of the future, but he can't shoot.
Give us one player that we're going to be looking out for, aside from your Ben Simmons that we always watch.
We've got like 12 Aussies now. So, it's unbelievable the amount of talent there. Aaron Baines is now at Phoenix. Joe Ingles is coming off the bench now for the Jazz. A whole lot of superstars. Pat Mills, obviously, as well. The big talking point, though, is Ben Simmons, who just does not shoot threes. Now he finally made a three in a pre-season game. And they're talking about, will he make 0 to 10 threes in the season? Will he make 10 to 20? I still don't think he's going to make more than 10.
Perth versus Cairns. Perth $1.09. They were $1.20 when markets opened. Smash, courtesy of the Hammer Time followers.
The line minus 12.5. I just think they're the sort of team, they just put a foot on the throat of weak teams coming in, and Cairns are a weak team. They're going to finish last in the competition. They couldn't beat Illawarra, who are the other team that are probably going to finish last, so 12.5. I think.
$1.90, is that $1.90?
Yep.
And
Perfect.
Adelaide 204, Brisbane 178. In Adelaide, is there a sneaky chance that the 36ers can...
Well, I think
Parliament.
this game should be $1.90, take your pick. Adelaide were poor against the Sydney Kings, but I think they're a lot better than that. They'd just come back from America, played against an NBA team. Jerome Randall, their superstar point guard, had only been there for a week. So they opened up plus 2.5. I think that's a good bet.
Welcome back to At Odds with Fletcher Jr. and Kieran Maher, because we've sacked Shane Heel. What, you didn't like the little
the
intro?
pregnant pause was
Yeah.
okay.
The pregnant pause was okay. Racing segment, deep into the spring racing. Controversy everywhere, Ray Warren, because of the Everest. And there's people having their two bobs worth. Is it good? Is it bad? Melbourne and Sydney going against each other. What's your thoughts, Kieran Maher, from Melbourne?
I think it's great. I think it's pushing both states up. They're getting a bit hot under the collar, but I think it's great for racing. It's good for prize money, and it's good for us.
Well, last week what was good for us was you
jockeys.
tipping us a couple of good winners, and the punters have fallen into the Unibet Ad Odds website and online show and all of our details. Can you back it up again? We'll get to that shortly, but first
Hopefully.
up, the Everest Junior, worth
Yes.
$7, $8, $10 million
Well, it's
all up.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I wish I had a runner. Great field. I reckon there's probably only 1 or 2 horses that can't win it. I think it's the best field they've had in the 3 years. The barrier draw last
other
night
night,
made it
yeah.
interesting the other night. I like Parada and Santa Ana Lane. They're my top 2 picks. But having said that, I think Arcadia Queen could be hard to beat. I sort of think Trekking, I'm going to have it as my third pick, a roughie, an outsider to run a place. But I like Parada over Santa Ana Lane.
You talk about Arcadia Queen, runs in this race, backs up in a fortnight in the Golden Eagle, could win $15 million in the next fortnight, which is staggering, Kieran.
Yeah, it could. It's got the ability to do it though.
What about you? You're a Parada fan, or are you a Victorian hat on and saying Santa Ana Lane?
Well, I think it will be the run-on horses. I think there's speed to burn in the race, but I think it'll be between Pirata, Santa Ana Lane, Acadia Queen, those horses that are going to run on. And but I'm going with Parada.
Nature Strip drawn wide is going to come across, you would assume.
Yeah.
Red Zell probably won't hand it up if they pull Nature Strip back.
I don't think you can hold Nature Strip up. I reckon it'll lead.
Yeah.
I reckon it'll come
But
across.
if it
the
leads,
lead.
it can't win. It'll go.
Well, it's his
1,000
only
metres.
chance to winning, actually. I think.
Yeah, if there's trying to restrain it, it'll
Gotta let it run.
self-combust.
Yeah.
It'll have to let it run.
You've probably got Sunlight go forward. Probably 10 Sovereigns. The overseas horses.
So is
probably
there a
go
smoky
forward.
that comes from behind? Trekking finished off brilliantly. Elise, the two Godolphin runners.
Well,
Maybe.
possibly. Are they good enough to win it? That's the thing. Maybe not.
Kieran, how important is the barriers, the barrier draw last night? With the
It's very important, but I think it's, as I said, the barriers are like usually more important for your on-speed horses, but I think there's just going to be speed to burn in this race, so they're
so
going to be.
is it irrelevant in this?
It's a good run to the first.
Yeah.
There's only one turn at the 1,200 metres, so it won't be too bad.
It's probably not irrelevant for someone, a horse like Arcadia Queen. Like it's drawn 3. If it had drawn 12, it'd be last.
Yeah.
But it's drawn 3, so it's probably going to be midfield.
It's going to land a pair,
Right.
a couple of pairs.
A couple of horses.
How good, by the way, how good was that last night on the Harbour Bridge?
It was outstanding, and once again, Peter Volandi's doing what he
If
does
it was
best.
in Melbourne, what would it be on? What's the equivalent down there? Like,
Balti Bridge.
like the DFO down there at Essendon?
The big,
I don't think it carried the same weight.
they've got a big Ferris wheel that hasn't
Oh,
worked
yeah,
in
yeah.
4 years. They'd probably just put the names of the horses on there and go, well, okay, this won't work.
No, I
Um,
just, yeah, it's
However, that being said, Caulfield Cup Day is one of the great days of racing. Lead up to the Derby, lots of carnival horses getting their final hit-outs before the Melbourne Spring Racing Carnival at Flemington in a fortnight's time, which is simply Disneyland for adults. And you've got a couple of runners, but none in the Caulfield Cup, which means you can have a good look at this field. Finch, the favourite, $6. Murder Glace, I should say, $6. Mr. Quickie, bit of unders for mine at $8 after a disappointing last week.
Yeah,
last run.
I think he is. I'm prepared to go around Finch. I think he's unders. He's a big horse. He's got to get round Caulfield, and I just think it's obviously in great form, but it took the length of Flemington Straight to sort of get into gear the other day. I think he'd be a good horse for the Melbourne Cup. I'm going to go with Vow and Declare. Very Elegant, I think, is a good chance also.
I don't think it's running. It's going to Cox Plate.
It might be going to the
That's
Cox
right.
Plate. Yeah, the field isn't finalised until very late in the week. So you're going Vow and Declare. Junior, where are you heading?
I'm really up in the air here. There's so many question marks over the overseas horses, a lot of them first up. I'm sort of going with the tried and true. I'm going to go with Finch, even though Kieran's right, it needs a bigger track, but I think it's rock hard fit, it's in good form. I don't mind the Chosen One, coming off the Herbert Power win, same track and distance last week. I'm going to have it in for second. And the overseas, Mustajir, I think he won the E-Ball, he's got to be there. But I've been told the Japanese horse Mur de Glace is a very, very smart horse, and if it was anywhere near right, it'd win. But I've also been told it hasn't eaten very well and hasn't settled in, so it's the smoky, so keep an eye on it.
One last one from Kieran before we go to another break. What do you got on the weekend that the punters can just have a little sneaky one on? We found one in Murtoa on Sunday and
Yeah.
Dr. Drill at Cranbourne.
Had to go far and wide.
We're not afraid to go far and wide. Go again.
I think I think we got what is it?
You've got about 200 runners, haven't you?
I do have quite a few. Where am I?
Just
here?
summarise, mate.
I'm going to go, it's not mine, race 1 at Caulfield, Star Caster. I think it trialled really well the other day. I think that's our Hail Mary.
Yep.
And our slam dunk is race 3, number 3, Caulfield again, Hilo. I think it'll be winning. Also, I think Snap Dancer, she's jumping from the 14 up to the 2000. I think it's got a great chance in the Ethereal Stakes.
Okay, and just keep an eye on our website and also our Facebook page because we'll update a couple of sneaky ones for the weekend as well from Kieran. Welcome back to At Odds, all thanks to unibet.com.au website, of course, with all of the specials, the promotions and our Racing Reboost, unlimited boosts until you collect each and every Wednesday and Saturday. And what a day it will be. Everest Day and Caulfield Cup Day this Saturday. Randwick and Caulfield just opens up the door to what's to come in terms of racing, Cox Plate, Melbourne Spring Racing Carnival, and then, of course, you've got the Golden Eagle Junior. As the training conglomerate got anything earmarked for?
Well, we've got our Century running Saturday in the St Ledger at Randwick, and then we've got Erno going.
Does
to
he
the
go to the St Ledger? Sorry, the Lexus Or
Could do if he goes good Saturday. And then we've got Erno. It's going to run in the Bondi Stakes, the $1 million 3-year-old race the week after.
$1 million race.
Yes.
So there's the ladder on
We
screen.
don't feel sorry for you, mate. Sorry.
Now we're all informed, so we're just going to improve on this as our carry.
Even Russ got something up.
Yes, you can go first.
All right, slam dunk. The Perth Wildcats staying with them, minus 12.5 against Cairns. I mentioned before, Cairns aren't a very good team. Southeast Melbourne, I really like the way they played. They've got a new import that has just arrived over the last 48 hours to replace Ty Wesley. They're playing against Illawarra, who aren't good. Boone also could have a broken nose. Oh, does have a broken nose. Not sure whether he's going to play. And then I think it's Adelaide.
Well, it's not playing with a broken nose. That'll do me.
Adelaide have got, they're plus 3.5. I think they should be favoured against Adelaide a couple of days later. So we're going to get about $8.
How
Junior.
confident are you? Well, I'm going a bit of basketball too myself.
Funny that.
Perth.
No, I'm going the Sydney Kings.
We have a little chat group. You've never seen Junior so intrigued and into the basketball.
Loves it.
Sydney Kings to win. Who they play? New Zealand.
that's
$1.30. Perth to beat the Cairns Taipans $1.10. Well, SEM. They're going to
Who
beat
are
the
they?
Hawks. Southeast Melbourne.
Who plays for them? Give me one player who plays for South East Melbourne.
The one that they haven't just. Oh, Creaky. 3-pointers everywhere. Creaky.
Other hand, left hand.
Left hand. 3-pointers everywhere. And the. Oh, you know a lot of basketball players here.
Stitch up there.
Come on. And the Sydney Kings, not the Sydney Kings, we'll go Sydney FC to beat Wellington.
Okay,
so I've got
right.
3 NBL on one side.
Fletcher.
Absolute moral.
Fletch.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going Rugby World Cup. Cherry Blossoms, 15.5 against...
How many of those players do you know?
3 of them.
Right, yep.
Japan to beat with a 15.5 start against South Africa. Now I'm going NFL. Last week I got 2 out of 2 of the NFL. Packers to beat the Raiders, which is immoral. And the Raiders to beat the Jets.
Well, you can't have the Packers to beat the Raiders and the Raiders to beat the Jets.
Sorry, Patriots to beat the Jets.
Okay, there we go.
Our man.
Going well with your NFL. I'm just going the race to race. Kosciuszko, place all up, handle the truth. I think it's an each way moral to run a hole. The Everett Parada, I'd go the win, except it's such a big race, you're just going to have the little saver. Hail Marys, we'll get Schwartz's in a second. Hail Marys, I'm going all the teams with the start in the quarterfinal, hoping for 4 really close games. Australia with 8, Ireland with 12, France with 7, and Japan with 14.5. I think they're all wrong, those prices. They could be all right, but that's my thoughts. Hammer?
4-leg multi, and it's $20.
Listen up.
$20. Sydney minus 6.5. Perth to win 11 plus. Southeast Melbourne to win 11 plus, and Adelaide to win on the road against Illawarra. $20, fellas. Watch out.
And the good news about that is if the 3 legs are up, you can then just go for a little crush on the last week because it's just a straight bet, isn't it?
Exactly.
Well played, Hammer.
Sounds easy, doesn't it? Sounds easy.
Junior?
I'm going racing from my Hail Mary. Now, all of these could win, actually, but I'm going for a place, just a little cushion there.
Yeah.
Victorium to win to place in the Kosciuszko, but I think it can win. Parada to place in the Everest, and Matty Rocks to place as well.
Okay.
There you go.
And,
I'm out at
Warren.
Randwick too. Race 6. Now these are both a place. Champagne Cuddles a
copying
place,
me,
and Red Zell to run a place.
So we've got the
That's about
trifecta in the
First 4
Everest. No, we're both the Quinella. Parada into Red Zell. That'll be our Quinella. And the Kosciuszko will go with ours as well. Forget about yours. Now, let's have a look at Mark Schwartz's Hail Mary. Normally, these are really big odds. And also his slam dunk.
Thanks, guys. My slam dunk for this week is Leicester to beat Burnley, Tottenham to beat Watford, and Chelsea to beat Newcastle. Whilst my Hail Mary is Crystal Palace to beat Manchester City, Sheffield United to beat Arsenal, and my match multi for this week will be Liverpool to beat Manchester United by 2.5 goals and Mane to score. All the very best. Speak to you soon, and happy punting, of course.
Well, there you go. He's living up to his reputation. Short priced slam dunk and 1,000 to 1 on the Hail Mary from Mark Schwarzer. All of our bets are boosted online, unibet.com.au. Cannot wait for this weekend. Obviously the basketball, obviously the rugby,
Racing.
but the Everest, massive crowds at Caulfield and Randwick. I think it's sold out. in most places, the Everest.
Would be,
So
yeah.
not a huge number in terms of racing, but you're going out?
I'm not going out. I'll be down in the pub, the
Yeah,
Beach Road
I can get you
Hotel.
in the English box.
No, it's too packed.
All right.
I went out there 2
Good
weeks
box.
ago. There's just punishes everywhere.
Oh, it's fantastic. Love it. Well, punishes for you.
No.
Because you say popular, see? That's right.
No, I mean the bookies. They're punishes.
Whatever you're doing, don't forget, if you're going to get involved at unibet.com.au. Gamble responsibly, and I hope you responsibly win thousands.